Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to talk about one of the best fights that can be made today, and that's of course Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. An amazing fight right here, ladies and gentlemen. Both in great form, both on a great run, on a hot streak, and now they collide. The winner is arguably the second best heavyweight today, and will probably fight the greatest heavyweight of this generation in Alexander Usyk. So definitely a lot riding on this fight. So looking at the tail of the tape, we see that they're actually pretty even if we're looking at their physical numbers. Dubois, just about an inch taller at 6'5" and has a couple inch reach advantage at 78-inch reach. He also is 6 years younger, but surprisingly, at least to me, is that they both weigh in around 250. But looking at the records, Dubois boasts a record of 22-2 with 21 knockouts, and Parker has a record of 35-3 with 23 knockouts. I want to set the table on the fighters' attributes and fighting styles real quick, and I'm going to start with Daniel Dubois. Dubois is a heavy-handed marauder with deceptively quick feet. He's an athletic specimen built like a tank. He's strong, he's powerful, and he's a relentless pressure fighter. He's always in incredible fighting shape. Conditioning is second to none, especially for someone his size, and with his determination and confidence, it seems impossible to keep off. One thing I think is underrated about Dubois is his jab. It's pretty good, especially when he stiffens it up. He's pretty busy with it too. He likes to keep it in his opponent's face. But what Parker really has to worry about is his overhand right, for how powerful it is, of course, but it's also pretty damn quick. If that thing connects, I mean, it's a game changer, Now, if we're talking about durability, I don't know, you know what I mean? He's an odd one, Dubois. On one hand, he's tanked right hands after right hands from Hrgovic and went to war with Big Baby Miller. But on the other hand, he gets dropped by a jab from Usyk. He gets dropped and stopped by Joe Joyce. And even AJ. The first decent punch AJ landed on him, he was rocked. It's odd, you know what I mean? I don't really know what to think of it. Joseph Parker, in my opinion, is the more technical boxer out of the two. He's fundamentally sound, has a good jab and a very good one too. He is defensively responsible, always keeps his head away from the center line. He is agile, he has good feet, he likes to stay mobile. His hands are quick and he got decent power as well. I think he has a high boxing IQ and he is very coachable. I think he believes in the game plan and he does whatever needs to be done to get the job done. If he needs to go into the fire, he will do it. He is brave. He's also very well conditioned, has no problems, fighting the full 12 rounds, being mobile and throwing combinations. He never looked gassed before, at least in recent times. If we're grading Parker's durability, I would give it a B+. Doesn't have an iron chin per se. He does get dropped and he has been hurt, but he can take punishment. He'll get back up and he won't give up. He got heart, and I think he's shown that time and time again. So how do I see this fight going? Honestly, I've been back and forth with myself on who I think is gonna win. It's a classic matchup, right? We got the pressure fighter in one corner and the technical boxer in the other. To be honest with you, I can see it going every which way. I can see a decision win for either guys. I can see a KO win for either guys. I can see a draw. Every result is plausible in this fight, in my opinion. What I think the game plan is for Team Dubois is to go in there full of confidence, go in there strong, utilize that youthful energy and apply that intense suffocating pressure early. Use the jab to close the gap, and when the opening is there, explode with an overhand right. And with that, get inside and smother Parker. Don't give him space to breathe or think. Rip him to the head and the body with hooks in close range. Break him down until he slows down just enough so that he's forced to stand toe-to-toe with Dubois. Be a magnet. Parker wants space. Don't give him that. Every chance you can, you gotta rough him up like you did AJ. You gotta establish physical dominance in there. You know what I mean? Dubois has shown he's capable of outlasting anyone in there when he fought Miller, and he's shown he can withstand punishment when he fought Hrgovic. So he's definitely capable of executing this game plan. What I think Parker's game plan is to use his feet. He's gonna come in there agile but sturdy. He's gonna want to use the entire ring, circle around Dubois, box him. but also beat him as his own game, set traps. I think Dubois is susceptible to traps, is an opportunist. When he sees something, he likes to grab it, and sometimes he doesn't think about the consequences. I think it's in Parker's best interest to set traps and have Dubois walk in his straight right. I also think Parker would want to establish his jab and his 1-2 early. He has to earn Dubois' respect early, or he could get overrun if he doesn't. He'd get mowed down if he doesn't. Parker also has to know that he will probably get hurt and maybe even dropped in this fight, but he has to stay cool, calm, and composed like he did against Zhang when he got dropped in the third. He has to stick to the game plan and believe he can weather the storm. All right, so that's how both fighters are going to approach the fight, in my opinion. But who do I think will actually execute? I'm not entirely sure, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I have been back and forth on this fight many times, and I really think that according to their most recent fights, that they can both execute their respective game plans. They're both capable of that. But if I have to pick who's gonna win, I would hesitantly lean towards Joseph Parker. You see, I think Parker's IQ is higher than Daniel Dubois. I think he's a thinking fighter. His hands are really fast and he has a very good 1-2. And I think he's gonna use that. He's not gonna be shy with his 1-2s. He's gonna let his hands go because he has to. Yes, he knows there's risks when you let your hands go against a power puncher. But time and time again, as I said earlier, I see Parker as the type to follow the game plan no matter what. He stays focused and looks at the bigger picture. He believes in the game plan, so he'll follow it despite the risk. I think he moves well enough and his jab is more than good enough to keep Dubois at bay. I think he's smart enough to set traps and he's good enough a counterpuncher to punish Dubois' mistakes. I think he has enough dog to fight off Dubois when he has to, and he's big and strong enough to avoid getting ragdolled and muscled around. He's also very well conditioned and durable to keep going after Dubois, inevitably touches him up some. But going back to Parker's IQ, I really think it's underrated. He has a way about himself where he can slow down a fight to his ideal pace, and I think he'll be able to do that in this fight. And I think ultimately Parker will win because he'll control the pace of this fight. Honestly, I think AJ was getting to it in the first round against Dubois. You guys probably don't want to hear that from me because for whatever reason, a lot of people hate AJ. But this is not about AJ. This is just from my observation and what I saw. First round, AJ established his jab. He was setting traps. His defense was good, until they got tangled up. Anthony Joshua pivoted to change position and he got caught with a monster right hand with his hands down. And as we all saw, that changed the entire fight. You guys might call me crazy, but prior to that, he was, in my eyes, controlling the pace, or at least starting to. He just got caught lacking and it all went downhill from there. Now, I don't see why Parker wouldn't be able to do the same thing. Parker has quicker hands than AJ. He's more defensively sound than AJ. He keeps his head away from the center line. He changes levels. And I think mentally, he's going to be better prepared for this fight than Anthony Joshua was. AJ sparred Dubois numerous times when they were younger. So I feel as though AJ saw Dubois as like a little bro at one point. So I think that subconsciously, there's that underestimation, Now for Parker, I don't think there's any overlooking Dubois. I think he's completely aware and he completely understands what he's going up against, and he knows it's gonna be hell and he'll be ready. That's another factor. I got a feeling Dubois thinks this is gonna be a walk in the park. He's out here barking at Usyk, asking for his rematch, saying that he got robbed when he got Parker right in front of him. That's not a good look, guys. That's not a good look. One more thing I saw from the Anthony Joshua fight, as I mentioned before, Dubois is susceptible to falling for traps. But I also think he's susceptible for the uppercuts. And I think AJ's team knew that because they attempted to land the uppercut over and over again. Obviously, it didn't land, but they were going back to it because they know there is an opening there. AJ just wasn't able to execute. So I can see Parker doing the same thing in this fight, trying to land that uppercut. And Parker has a mean rear uppercut, man. So if it lands, that could be devastating. Parker is also crafty with his left hook. He got some weapons. He got the tools for the job. It's all about executing. Okay, so again, I am hesitantly picking Joseph Parker to win. I think he'll control the pace and distance, and I think he'll pull off a split decision win. It'll be close. It'll be competitive, which inherently means that it'll be controversial in the eyes of the boxing public. But I will not be shocked in the slightest if Daniel Dubois uses his youthful energy and just dogs Parker out of there, breaks him down, and forces the ref to stop the fight, or if Dubois wins a decision after a tough, gritty 12 rounds, or even if they fight to a draw. Like I said, I've been going back and forth for this fight. I just had to choose a winner, and this time around I chose Joseph Parker. All right, so that's all for me. I really am curious on who you think will win and why. So if we can discuss down in the comment sections, that would be amazing. But other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a lovely day.